Welcome to Talk2Connect. This is where we share our stories to inspire and empower each other. Our speaker today is an amazing young man who's gone through a lot in life. But today, he's a TED Talk speaker, a transformational speaker who has impacted thousands of lives around the globe. He's an author, and he's been appreciated and acknowledged by the Nobel laureate, His Holiness, the Dalai Lama. So Jay, thank you so much for joining us today. I am so honored to have you here. The first time I saw you, and I saw you on TED Talk, and your story really touched me. And I was like, there's a young person out there who really would like to hear your story and would like to learn from your journey, because your journey is amazing. And I would really be honored if you will share your story with us today in our platform, because our purpose for this platform is to share our stories and inspire others to grow and become better in life. So welcome, and I would really love you to share a little bit about you and share a little bit about your journey and your story.
Thank you so much, first of all, Fatima, for having me on your show. And even when you messaged me, I was really excited because of the kind of work which you're doing and the people with whom you are doing your work, and your intention is so noble, so pure, of helping people back in Africa to become empowered, helping especially young people to learn the skills to become empowered, to transform their life, which is like commendable. And I really appreciate and acknowledge your intention and your actions, which you are doing through your coaching and through your speaking, and by bringing a lot of transformation in your life as well. So thank you so much for having me on your show, Fatima. And about my story, I'm a transformational speaker. I have impacted thousands of people globally. I'm a TED speaker, as you just mentioned. And I take my seminars and speeches, webinars and workshops to help people transform their true potential into real world productivity, prosperity. But at the same time, I believe that yes, productivity is very much important. That is the way our potential is expressed. Yes, performance is important. Yes, prosperity is important. It is very much important. But at the same time, it is important that we have peace within ourselves, because achieving all the things in the world, but if we are restless, if we are anxious, if we are depressed, there is no point. So the balanced life simply means that you have peace within, you have peace in your mind, you have profoundness in your heart, and you have prosperity in the world as well. And that's how you can serve others, you can make an impact and make a difference. So this is what I do. And coming to my story, it was not that easy. This is my life since last 2.5 to 3 years. Before that, it was really tough. I grew up facing a lot of financial challenges in my family, and in societies like India or even in Africa. So, in countries like India or even in Africa and many other countries, when, especially in capitalist societies, and I'm not against it, it's a good thing. But when your family struggles with finances and the condition is not very good, socially, economically, financially, then it just doesn't remain a financial or social issue. It also becomes a psychological issue, and you start to lose your self-esteem. You start to lose your confidence. In your mind, you start to create an identity about yourself, not a very empowered identity, not a very inclusive identity, not a very harmonious identity, but a broken identity. The identity which tells you that you are not good enough. You are not like other people. You come from a broken background. You come from a broken family. And once you grow with this kind of conditioning, then it becomes very difficult for you to go in the society and feel confident about yourself, work on your capabilities, work on your potential, and the journey becomes really tough. And that happened to me till the time I was 23. Because of this extreme social anxiety, extreme fear. And one more problem which I had was I was really short in height. Like till my 12th standard, I was the shortest kid in my class. So again, while growing up, you might have seen people, met people, maybe you have been there when maybe you are too tall or too short, too fair or too dark, too fat or too thin. And kids are kids, but somewhere they are programmed by society to pick upon the people. And I was every day picked upon by my classmates, schoolmates, sometimes even teachers. You expect love from teachers, you expect compassion from teachers, you expect humanity from teachers. But when they pick upon you because of maybe you're too short, or because of your color, because of your race, or whatever, then naturally it impacts you the most, because you respect them and expect love from them, expect support from them. And it was happening every single day, almost every single day. And there came a time, I have shared this in my TED talk as well, you might have heard, there came a time when I literally used to pray to God that just let one day pass, just one day without me going through all these humiliations, without me being bullied, being beaten, being bashed, being battered. Just for one day, let me experience 124 hours of happiness. But that was not happening. All my prayers went in vain, and I just got tears in response of those prayers. So I was like, what to do? And then I realized, okay, let me take responsibility. Rather than asking it from above, let me take my responsibility of my emotions, responsibility of my life, how I want to feel, how I want to be, and what kind of impact I want to make. Because somewhere subconsciously, unknowingly, I realized that my reality is being created by myself. Because I started to get some exposure, and I saw people who are doing good work, who are being treated well despite of short height, despite of not coming from a financially or economically empowered background. They are doing great things. And then I realized that only people who have faced toughest of situations and challenges in their lives are the ones who are making the most powerful and positive impact in the world. And I was like, if they can do it, why not me? Let me work on it. Maybe there is a way, there is a method. And maybe that was the answer to my prayer from God. The path, the seeking, the longing. So I became a seeker of freedom. I became a seeker of empowerment. I became the seeker of truth. And lucky for me, when that seeking came, right guidance also came, because I feel that's the way of the universe. You take one step towards your growth, and the universe take 10 steps. So that happened with me. I got really good mentors, spiritual guides. So I was going through a lot of issues, like emotionally. I was diagnosed with ADHD, attention deficiency hyperactivity disorder. I was diagnosed with post-traumatic stress disorder. I used to stutter, stammer, not with everyone. When I was at home with my parents, I was comfortable. People who are my relatives, I was comfortable, like at least in talking. But when I used to go out, meet new people, you won't believe, today I talk to lakhs of people, thousands of people at once. I take seminars, webinars, and so many things. I give TED talks and speak on biggest of platforms. But there was a time I used to, like, even if a 10 years old kid, I was 23 that time, and I remember it so clearly. I was traveling in a train from my hometown to my college, and a 10 years old kid, I still remember his name. His name was Maz Rahman, and like we became really good friends. He treats me like his elder brother now. And he asked my name, and when he'll listen, he'll also, like, maybe he will be reminded of this. So he was like, why are your ears getting red? My ears got literally red. I was traveling in a train, you meet new people, someone asks you your name, or they just want to connect with you, maybe because they just like you or whatever. So he asked my name. He was 10 years old. Now he might be 20, I don't know, around 20, 18. And my ears got red, and I started to shiver. I started to palpitate, and I couldn't tell my name. And I, with a lot of stammering, I said, my name is Kapir. And he was like, all right. And kids are very observant. So you can fool other people, but kids are very attentive. So they read your body language and they read your vibes. And he was like, why are your ears red? And he asked that question to me. And that was the first time I asked that question to myself. Why are my ears red? And why do I get paralyzed unknowingly when I have to interact with people? Why my system freezes? what is the reason behind it. And that was the moment I started to introspect, and I started to ask myself, where is it coming? Because I was not born like this. I was quite a happy child when I was born. Till I was 6, I was like really happy. And then what happened? And then as I reflected back, it reminded me of that day when my teacher, my sports teacher, so we have sports sessions in the schools, right? And we play in the garden, there's a big garden. And since I was the shortest kid, my teacher called me a dwarf. You know what is dwarf? Someone who is undergrown, and people like those people perform in circuses, they become clowns and things like that, and their life is really tough. So she called me that, and that was not the problem. But everyone started to laugh at me. Everyone, like literally everyone. And the teacher also started to laugh. And my mind created a code and identity that I'm a subject of laughter. I'm a subject of humiliation. Maybe I'm not normal. Maybe I'm not as good as these people. And since then, it started to become a cycle. It started to become a trap in which I was entrapped. My entire personality was entrapped. And the moment I realized it, the moment I observed that emotion, somewhere I started to become free. And I decided I have to completely liberate myself from this. Just within 3 months of learning right practices, right meditation tools and systems, just within 3 months, my PTSD left me, my ADHD left me, stuttering, stammering never came back again. I became a very fluent speaker. I started to share my journey of transformation and the spiritual wisdom to hundreds and thousands of people across the globe, and then got to meet Nobel laureates like His Holiness the Dalai Lama, and got to speak on various platforms like TED and many other platforms, and impacted over 25,000 people across the globe. So that's my journey of transformation, from being a stuttering, stammering kid into a fluent and fearless speaker, from someone labeled as abnormal, dwarf, retarded, stupid into someone whose work and contribution has been appreciated and acknowledged by a Nobel laureate, and from extremely painfully underconfident person into someone who's making a difference in hundreds and thousands of people's lives. So yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. From listening to you, I can relate to what you're saying, as people are labeling people with what they think of you, and it's not only for children, even grown-ups in a working place, in society, people like labeling people, and we find ourselves, we are lost in the society, we are lost with what society think of us. And it's amazing that you are able to block that and became who you wanted to become. So how did you do that? Because if I'm listening to you now as a youth, I go like, okay, Jay, you were able, but I'm not you. What are the kind of things that did you do that really built your character? Because you've built such a character, you've become so strong and so confident. There's a youth out there who's feeling like, I'm being labeled as a dwarf or because of his race, and he's really not having self-esteem. How did you get to build your self-esteem?
First thing, I didn't block it. I became aware of myself and my surroundings. Second, your question is right. Many people ask me, okay, it was you. Maybe you were special, that's why you were able to do it. But let me tell you, that's not the case. There are few things called tools and systems. For example, the light in your room is a tool for what? Is a system, a scientific system for what? To give light to you, right? Otherwise, we would not, I won't be able to see you if there was no light in the room, right? So who can use that light? You just have to switch it on, right? And the light glows. So who can use it? Only an empowered person can do it. Only someone who has that spirit or character can do it, or anyone can do it. Even if you switch on that light, it will glow. Even if I do that, it will like light up, right? Even if a 2 years old kid does it, it will again give the same light. The color won't change, right? So it's about the power of the tools. If you use the right tool, no matter who is using it, if he is using the same tool, then he'll get the same transformation. He will get the same outcome. So I use certain tools which I teach in my seminars and workshops with the help of which hundreds and thousands of people have transformed their life. So it's not about me, that I had something special or I had the calling. It's about using the right tool in the right way, under the right guidance, by the right person who knows how to make people use those tools.
I believe in what you're saying that you need to have a mentor, you need to have people who have passed through that journey so that they can help you to become who you want to become. You need to find people who can actually show you, as you said, the light. You need to know how to put on the light so that you can become powerful. That's amazing. But then as a youth, if I look at you, as much as we come in society, there's influence. And I think what is really making youth get lost is the influence in society, where you want to be cool, you want to be like everybody else. You feel like if I show my capability, I'm not going to be cool as the rest of the kids. So how did you manage to come out of that, not to be influenced by the peer group and all of that?
That's a very good question. So one has to take responsibility of becoming aware of one's own potential, who you really are. Who are you? Like that is a question which everyone must ask oneself, because somewhere deep inside everyone knows that I don't belong to this like environment, like everyone does the same thing, try to fit in or try to talk those small talks just to impress other people, just to become a part of that circle. Somewhere everyone knows that no, like I don't have to do all these things. Maybe they fall into the trap of behaving like that because the environment and the situations around you hijack your intelligence. But somewhere deep within, if someone can sit alone and reflect, they'll know that I'm different and everyone is different. No, I feel no one is higher, no one is lower, and at the same time no one is equal. Everyone is unique, and that is the beauty of an individual, that you are unique. And one has to tap into that uniqueness, one has to tap into that true potential by reflecting upon oneself, asking that question, that who am I really in this world and what is my purpose? So when I say purpose, a lot of people ask me how to find my purpose, So purpose is not some God-given purpose. You live in a society where there are problems and where there are solutions as well. And there are solutions, there are skills to find those solutions, right? Because 10 years back, or maybe let's say 500 years back, my purpose would have been different. I would be solving different problem in a totally different way. But right now, there are, for example, you are doing this work. Why are you doing this work? Because you saw that a lot of bad things are happening in that society where you live, and you empathized with that situation, and you couldn't sit like that because your humanity cannot allow you to sit like that. If you can see the pain and if you are really in tune with your humanity, you want to solve that problem. You bleed for other people, right? That's why you are doing this work. So maybe just imagine if there was no situation like that. Will you still be doing the same work? Will you still be a coach? No, you might be like, okay, it doesn't exist, so why do that? But right now it is your purpose, because it's a need of the hour, it's a need of the human beings around you, and that's why there is a need within you to solve the problem. That's why you are learning, you are working on your skills and empowering so many people, right? So we have to reflect that what is my potential, what am I good at, what is something which makes me feel really passionate, and at the same time how can it solve other people's problem around me. Now your potential, your passion is used to solve someone else's problem, which becomes your purpose. And it is very important that purpose brings prosperity to you. Otherwise there will be a lot of chaos if you want to survive if you want to thrive and survive in this world, and increase the scale of that work, increase the scale of your purpose. Because suppose you find something which is really valuable to humanity, like maybe tomorrow you find cure for cancer. Will you just keep that cure to yourself or 10 people or 15 people around, or will you want to spread it to the entire humanity, regardless of nations, regardless of borders and boundaries? You want to scale it up, right? So that the planet can be cured from the disease. Same thing, you have to see how you can scale your purpose up, how you can solve problems of as many people as possible, and naturally it will bring you prosperity. And if prosperity is not there, then how will you scale up? How will you reach more people? How will you solve more problems? Because you need resources. So the simple formula is a 6P formula, which is your potential, things which you are good at, capable of, competent of, you're skilled at, that becomes your potential. Emotionally, you must be emotionally charged with that, which is quite natural, which must solve other people's problems. This becomes your purpose, which brings prosperity to you. And if these 5 P's are aligned, naturally you are at peace in your mind. So this is the 6P formula of finding the purpose of your life. And somewhere I was lucky that since I was a single child, I used to sit alone a lot of times and observe things around me and within myself. And I realized that, okay, there are few things within me which I'm good at. Like, I want to solve people's problems. It makes me passionate. And somewhere I understand people's emotions. And there was a natural aptitude of articulating words and sentences in such a way that it resonates with someone else's emotion and help them to solve their problem. So I was like, okay, let me expand this. Let me work on this. Let me develop this skill more and more and more and reach more and more people. So that's how, once I got clear with my potential, then there was no distraction. Then universe supported me, I supported myself, and I was only surrounded by right people. Self-doubt comes when you're surrounded by wrong people and you want to work on your mission. But once you develop that skill, it's a skill and a science and an art to surround yourself with right people. Once you develop that skill, you will always be surrounded by good people who will support you on your journey. Now, no self-doubt comes to you because there are so many other people who are doing the same work. You have so much to learn, you have so much to grow, so your entire focus is there. Why will you think of what other people think of you? Why will you think of whether someone supports you or not? There are maybe 2-3 people don't support you, but there are hundreds of people who are there to support you. There's a community there to support you. So that is the power of being in a right community, surrounding yourself with people who have similar mission and vision. And I was lucky, and at the same time I want to take little credit that I was intelligent enough to understand these things and put myself in that kind of an environment, because I believe that human potential is like a seed, and no matter how potent the seed is, if it is not in the right soil, it will never become a tree. And that soil for human potential is the environment, people around you, your mentors. So one must sit for at least, like, we are too busy in, impressing people, going out in the world and doing so many things. It's great to do everything, but isn't it important that whatever we are doing, we do it efficiently? And to do that with efficiency and effectiveness, we have to enhance ourselves. So how to enhance? How do you enhance your software in computer? By spending time with it, by understanding it. So if you want to enhance your software, then what do you have to do? You have to spend time with yourself. A lot of people forget to do that. But once you do that, you will open totally new dimension of magic and miracles happening in your life, of success, abundance, prosperity, and well-being.
That's really true, and it's amazing. And I think, like, a lot of us, and I can say it from experience, until when I realized that I'm running around failing because I don't have clarity of what I'm doing. I'm doing what everybody else is doing. I'm trying to change my life from other people's perspective, is when I realized, okay, I need to come inside me and find who's really Fatima. What do I really want? And what can I give to society? What can I give outside? And in that understanding, and in the best thing that you said is, you don't just change yourself. It just pushes you to find, like, I need to pull someone else to come with me. I need someone else to feel the joy that I'm feeling, and that is really, really amazing. A lot of people don't find their uniqueness, to be honest, as you said. They want to impress others. They want to make others acknowledge them rather than acknowledging themselves. And I find this more in youth. So I know a lot of youth who are having talents. Someone knows how to do something. Maybe he's an artist, or maybe he's a musician, but he doesn't have that belief in himself because everybody else around them are not doing. So what is the advice you can give to these youth? Because most of them have degrees and they have papers, but they're holding into them. They're not going deep inside to find out, okay, maybe I have a degree, I don't have a job, but there's something else that is within me that can make me become better than what I am. And I think you as a youth and going through what you've gone through, you might have something that you can tell them that can help them, because I know a lot of youth who have potential, and I'm not talking about being smart in school, that they have talents, they're artists, they're comedians.
Musician.
But they're not taking the step because they don't have that belief, they don't feel like they can do it, they don't even have the guts to come out and show their potential. They are waiting for somebody to come actually to tell them, you know what, this is a platform for you to become who you want to be.
Good question. So how I overcame this, I can only share that, and how it has worked for everyone with whom I've shared this. So once I became clear of what I really want to do, I became little courageous to share it with everyone with a lot of power. I used to declare it to the world. Like when I'm sitting alone, I used to declare it. When I was with people, I used to declare it. And that opened a lot of new doors. Some people criticized, some people thought that he's an idiot, he won't be able to do it. But there were few people who took notice of the intensity with which I was saying it. They loved the energy of it. They started to support me, and I started to meet more such people who were ready to receive what I want to offer, who were ready to appreciate what I have to offer, what I have within myself. And the more I got that, the more my clarity increased, the more my competence increased, the more my capability increased, and the more I became confident to do what I'm doing today. So I started to talk to people, and then once I started, so for example, I shared this with one of my friends. Initially, few people questioned me, why are you doing this and things like that, because not everyone will understand few things, especially when you're too brainwashed by the modern education system, which was created by British, not for our talents, our genius to blossom, but for us to become clerks of the Queen. The Queen is gone, but we are still the clerks. So now they might not understand it, and it's not their fault. They are doing the best which they can. But then I met few people who really appreciated that, and they were like, okay, I can connect you with someone who can help you in actually achieving your goals. And that's how my doors opened up. So I shifted to Mumbai. There was a friend, he was asking me like, where are you and things like that. I said, I'm in Mumbai, and I'm here working on how to help people, how to empower people, and looking for the skills to actually make myself like really good at it. And he said, okay, I knew few people, and he suggested some of the mentors who are actually teaching these skills of transformation. And that's how I came to know about my mentors. I joined those programs, went to those trainings, transformed my own self, made myself really competent to do it. And that's how everything changed. I got into the right environment. I put my seed in the right soil again. So how that happened, I took that first step of courage, of sharing it with the world, of sharing it with the universe, of declaring it to the creator.
I think people have the fear of doing that. And I know that from experience. It took me a while to even think that I could sit and talk to people or ask a question, because I never felt I have it in me. And until when you try, until when you ask, like, I'm going to ask Jay to come to talk to me. If he says no, he says no. And if he comes, then he comes. But if you don't put yourself out there, if you don't show people who you really are, then people will not appreciate you. And I think most of us do not appreciate our talent and what we're made of. We're just wanting that appreciation from coming from outside. We want to get it, oh, people validate me, they see me. But if you don't validate yourself, you don't go deep inside and say, you know what, I'm good. I'm going to try. It's going to be difficult, but I'm going to make it. Then we won't change our lives. And that's so true. So you've gone through a journey of growing and building yourself and building a very strong young man. So what if I ask you to tell me in one sentence, just who is Jay Kapir? What would that be? In one sentence.
A question which no one has asked me. But in one sentence, right? Not in one word.
In one sentence.
Can I take some time to articulate it?
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah. Very good question. Jay Kapir is an artist of life with a vision of making this planet a planet of geniuses, a planet of people living up to their highest potential, their highest greatness in the most logical, scientific, and practical ways. I'll repeat it again. Jay Kabir is an artist having a vision of helping people to live up to their greatest genius and highest potentials in the most logical, scientific, and practical ways.
That is really amazing. When you talk about being an artist, I believe life is art. It's like we're given every single day, we have a canvas that we are painting our lives in different versions. It's your choice what color you put on that canvas, and that's so true. We are all artists in different ways. It's how you see your life, how you see yourself is how you paint it. So you're very, very correct when you say you're an artist of life, because we are all having that masterpiece, and every single day we are waking up trying to make it better, or you're making it worse. A choice of what you choose. Like you said, the people around you are the colors that you have to make you, to build you.
And now you have to paint it, and you have to make a wonderful painting. So you must have right colors, you must have right skills, and at the same time, you must have a blank slate. You must have an empty canvas, not a canvas which is already filled with the impressions of the past. And here in our life, what is that canvas? Our mind. So it is very important that the canvas of our mind, slate of our mind, is clean. It is not cluttered and conditioned by the baggage of the past. So to become that artist, you have to drop the past. You have to get complete with the past. And then only the mind will be stable, the mind will be still, and the canvas will be clean for you to actually draw that painting of your life, which you want to enjoy and which brings pleasantness and peace to yourself and people around you.
That is so right. Our past is, I think most of the things that people do is they hold to the past and they hold to what went wrong. Something happened in my past, and it doesn't define who you are, it's how you take it. The journey that you took, it's like connecting those dots. It happened. How can I connect the dots for me to become better and move on? The past is part of you. It's like saying, I've grown. I was a child, and I have to accept that being a child, I learned how to walk, to crawl, to become the person I am right now. And our experiences are the same. I had to fail. I had to be sad. I had to go through that experience, because if you don't go through the experience, you can't have change. Like those experiences bring different changes in your life. You were bullied for you to think, what can I do so that I can become strong? I felt in my journey for me to know, like, I don't have clarity. I need to have clarity for my life. So past is there, and I think a lot of people need to just understand past is past, and it's part of you, but it doesn't define who you are. And whatever situation you're in is a situation that doesn't last. You can just change it and become you've just shown it, like you can become who you want to be. It doesn't matter how people see you or perceive you. So that is so nice. You have programs that you are offering, and I know someone there is listening, sorry, and is listening to what you're saying, and they will go like, how can I reach Kapir? Because you've touched him in a different way. So if people want to know more about your programs and your talks, and how can they reach you? And you're an author. I know you have a lot of books that you've written, and are they in Amazon? I know you have a book about...
Yeah, my book is on Amazon and Flipkart. My second book is also coming soon on Amazon and Flipkart. So they can order the book online. It's called Monk Wisdom for the Modern Mind. And I have 3 programs. One is Destiny Design Masterclass, which is if someone is struggling with procrastination a lot, someone wants to wake up early in the morning but is not able to do it, wants to get that life of discipline. Everyone wants it, right? People know that without discipline, there is no destiny. So everyone wants it, but unfortunately, because of so many reasons, we are not able to do it. So in that program, there are scientific tools which within just 4 days will make you get up in the morning, be disciplined, be focused, learn a simple meditative practice, a guided meditation, which will make you more focused towards your purpose, give you clarity about that, and will help you to kill procrastination from your life. And it's just a 4 days program called Destiny Design Masterclass. Then I have a program called Unleash the Ultimate You, which is a more intense program, which is with me live these days online. So we are doing it across the globe. We have students in Dubai, we have students in California, we have students in Netherlands, in India, and in London. So a lot of places in the world where we go very deep. You get to work with me for 8 weeks, 8 to 9 weeks, and it's like a complete inner transformation. And then there is another program called Travel, Transform, Transcend, for which if you're in India, it's great. If you're not in India, you have to come to India. And it's an outbound program which mostly happens in mountains. It's a complete program of spiritual transformation. So it's called Travel. We travel, we transform, and we transcend our limitations and experience something of the higher. So it's a 3 days residential program. So these are the programs. You can connect with me on my Facebook. People who are interested, I keep posting the links for my webinars, for my talks, so they can join and they can follow me on Facebook and Instagram. So yeah, and they can watch my TED Talks. Many more are coming in the future on YouTube and on the official site of TED. So yeah.
Thank you so much. So if you have one advice that you can give to a youth who's out there feeling, I'm not good enough, I'm not worth it, I'm not capable of changing my life, what will that be?
So let's go a little bit into it. From where does this thought comes in a kid's mind? No one is born with this idea that I'm not good enough, right? Does a lion think that I'm not a good enough lion, or I'm not a good enough cat, or I'm not a good enough dog? So this exists only in human beings. And why this is happening? Just because of comparison and judgments which have been thrown upon us, sometimes by our parents, sometimes by our peers, sometimes by our teachers and society, and so many things. But at the same time, we have to realize that we cannot blame the outside situation forever. It is going to be the way it is, and we cannot do much about it. But one thing or one person about which we can do everything is ourselves. Right? So we have to become complete within ourselves, and we have to realize that there is no need to compare ourselves with anyone. There is no need. And it is not easy to get there. But once you actually start to, again, know yourself, know your capability, know your potential, work on your competence, naturally that comparison will disappear. You won't have time to think about it. You will be so focused on your work. You will be so focused on building yourself up. So for youth is the time when you have the most energy, when you have the most exuberance, the most effulgence in your life. After that, you might be a strong person mentally and emotionally, but you won't have this much of energy. So why to waste it in distraction in social media and all these things? Why cannot this energy be used in building yourself, building your mind, body, emotions, energies, and taking it to its highest peaks? Once you do that, there is no scope within you to compare yourself with other people and feel that I'm not good enough, I'm not capable enough, I'm not all those things. Once you do it naturally, your knife is sharpened enough. Now whatever comes your way, you can cut it easily. So if you have that level of capability and competence and clarity in your mind, you will be able to produce so much of success that you will never feel that I'm not good enough. And at the same time, you will be becoming such an amazing human being that you will never compare yourself with others, and you won't even judge other people. Right? Once you drop the judgment towards other people, your mind also drops the fear of being judged. We have to take responsibility, because unknowingly, youth is trained to fear judgment, at the same time judge other people. We just look at a new person, we don't have any idea about that person, we haven't even heard them, seen them before, but unconsciously our mind has got trained to make a judgment about them. Right? Good judgment or bad judgment, but mind has got so trained to make judgments. And this is the reason of judging other people. And because you are judging, because people are judging, they fear that if I'm judging them, they might also be judging me. So it's a give and take of negativity. So you are scared and they are also scared. So everyone is scared, and in fear there can never be love, there can never be union. Only in non-judgmental awareness and compassion and inclusion there can be love, there can be oneness. So drop this judgment. The moment we individuals will drop that judgment, naturally we will become free of fear of other people's judgment. And then we will never have these kind of thoughts. And the thoughts within us will be, how can I help that person? How can I solve his problem? How can I innovate something wonderful to become a solution for their lives, to enhance their life, to empower their life? Now, once you reach this state, there is no scope of feeling that I'm not good enough, I'm not capable enough, or things like that. So yeah, so drop the judgment and train your mind to see beauty around you versus to see negativity around you, and you will be amazed to see the beauty and the magic and the miracle which life is and which human beings are. Just drop the prejudices and like these limited identification of race, gender, religion, nationality, all these things. These are the things which clutter our mind and take away the clarity from us, the clarity of being human beings and connecting with everyone.
So true. I think we live in a society where people like judging a lot from different angles, and that makes us not be comfortable because of the judgment. We feel like we have to act in a certain way or behave in a certain way so that we can fit in society. And one thing that you've said that is very important is to appreciate the beauty around you, to have gratitude. Whenever you have gratitude for the small things that are happening in your life, you start seeing the beauty of life. And I think a lot of people don't have time to make gratitude. Just to sit down and talk to someone, that's a blessing. To wake up in the morning and be able to walk and see the air and see the animals. People think like to be happy is for you to have material stuff. But we are surrounded with so many things that we forget to be grateful for. Just being able to wake up and make breakfast for yourself, that's a blessing because someone else cannot do that. So I think we've learned a lot from you today, and we have so many takeaways from your talk today, and one of them, we just have to have a powerful mindset. If there's anything I got from this talk is that your mind is the door to everything.
Not just mind. We have to have a very powerful heart set also. So if you have a strong emotion set, then mindset is naturally stronger. See, so you have a thought, but that thought becomes really powerful when it becomes your emotion, when you can feel it. Not just thought is a dry part of like ourselves, but when it becomes emotion, then it becomes really intense. And then you have a strong mindset, you get a strong heart set, and then it becomes a part of your soul. So you have a strong soul set, which Robin Sharma says very well, that you have to work on your mindset, your heart set, your soul set. Once these three things come in alignment, like your life set is fantastic. Your life is set.
Thank you so much. So we need to have a strong emotion system, and we need to have a powerful mindset. And I think when we have this, we have the three things that are important to us. I have a coach who told me, if you want to be yourself and you want to succeed, you've got to have three things. You've got to believe in yourself, you've got to trust in yourself, and you've got to be the thing that you want to be. And I think that's what you're saying. So your emotions and your mindset just make you have that trust and that belief, and you be the person that you see yourself, not what others see. And that's so powerful. And I want to thank you so much for amazing talk, and thank you for coming here.
Thank you so much, Fatima, for inviting, and it was really great having conversation with you. Even I got enriched and enlightened by a lot of ideas which you shared and your own journey. Before the talk, I heard your story and I was really inspired, and I would love to know more about it. And thank you so much for this amazing podcast, this amazing interview, and it was a pleasure and an honor to be here.
Thank you. I hope we're gonna
thank you so much
to learn more from you on our journey of helping you.
Thank you so much. And keep doing the good work, and your country needs you, and the world needs people like you. So keep doing the great work, and I hope all the success and all the prosperity, all the abundance, and all the happiness. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much.